What's going on, pursuers? Welcome to The Pursuit of Calling, the podcast that provides you with the strategies and tools needed to successfully discover and pursue your calling. Whether it's through inspiring stories, thought-provoking interviews, or quick, insightful episodes on personal growth and development, we've got you covered. I'm your host, Thomas Carney. Enjoy the episode. All right, so today was the first day of IMC, or is the first day of IMC. You'll be listening to this episode a bit later. I believe that I plan on this coming out on April 15th, but maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I'm wrong. But so really what the purpose of this episode and the next 3-4 episodes will be are, like I said, it's going to be recaps. It's going to be me just diving into the event, what I've been learning from the different speakers, and just the experience I've been having, kind of bringing you guys along for the ride. So today I heard a few different speakers. There was Ronnie Galbraith, Chris Godey, I believe. There was John Maxwell, day one, and he talked about a lot. And then there was a few other things that were pretty cool experiences. I got some books signed by John Maxwell himself, and there was a 3-minute speech that I had to give. Well, that we got to give. I shouldn't say I had to. But you do have to do it to get a certification. But regardless. So I really just want to dive into a couple of the lessons and just kind of give brief overviews of what we're taught. And then I'm going to give some personal reflections. I think I want to dive into a couple of things I struggled with today. It's 8:14 p.m. right now, and yeah, I think that's where I'm going to go. So let's dive into what John talked about first. John talked about one thing he talked about was values and the Maxwell DNA. When he talked about values, he was talking about, like, how do you know when you're at the right company? How do you know that when somebody's values align with your values? And he said values are good when they value people. And some analogies he used glue, because values stick people together. He goes foundation, because values are what you build everything else off of in your life. They're a ruler, because they kind of give you the measurement of, I don't exactly remember what he said, if I'm being honest, but he used a ruler. I'm gonna assume, and hopefully I get close, but kind of gives you the measurement of a person by the value of their values. Or I shouldn't even say value of their values, because all values are valuable. Be honest, this analogy, if you can find one that matches that's great. Compass. There is a compass because values provide direction. Then there's a magnet. Values are like a magnet. They attract like-minded people. They're like a fingerprint because they identify who you are. And they're like a map because they're a guide. And then he dives into the Maxwell DNA, which are the Maxwell leadership values. There's 10 of them. One is we value people, having a positive attitude, personal growth, to lead by example, live intentionally, exceed expectations, equip others, consistency, and be a catalyst for transformation. And then the final one, he said, it's kind of optional, but it's not. It's kind of optional, but it's something you should embrace. It says, allow room for faith. He stressed, he was like, this is not a Christian company, but if you allow room for faith, for God to take root in your life will be changed exponentially. I love that he always works that in. I love that he works in faith and God. So many of the speakers and attendees are Christians as well. And I mean, that a lot of that is because his values, all the values are rooted in Christianity, in Christ. So if you're not a Christian, I want you to at least give it a thought. What would it look like to start even being interested about Christianity? It doesn't even mean you go to church. Maybe it just means you pick up a Bible. Maybe download the Bible app on your phone and just start poking around. Maybe it means you actually do go to church. Honestly, that's probably even better. That's probably even a better place to start than just going through a Bible by yourself. Get yourself around good, positive Christians who can show you what it means to have God in your life. People who value people, who have a positive attitude, who are people who are concerned with personal growth, and find those Christians who are leading by example, who are living intentionally, the ones who exceed expectations, because that's what Jesus calls us to do, and ones that equip others to do the things that they're called to do, and ones that are consistent. Ones that are consistent when showing up, they're consistent with you. Look for those people, surround yourself with those people, because those people are going to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And then another great thing that we learned about today was, and this was, I'm jumping through the day, but with a DISC assessment. We learned about DISC and how to assess behavior more. And it's another certification that anybody could get through the Maxwell Leadership. I'm probably going to get it one day because that seems like it would be a great way to help my coaching clients, discover more about themselves. So DISC, like it says, it's to assess your behavior. So DISC, it's an acronym, stands for dominant for D, influencing for I, steady for S, and compliant for C. Me personally, I'm a very high C. High C's love data, and they're very detail driven. And then let's go through some of the other ones. D style, they like to feel like they're in control. They care about the bottom line. They're very results driven and results focused, and you can spare them the details when you're communicating with them. They want to know the results of what you're talking to them about. You're going to find maybe a lot of your bosses are probably more of a high D, and they want to know what you got done, not how you got there. Which, I mean, that's a strength in itself. Then you have you have your eyes. You want to let them speak. You want to show that you're listening to them, and you want to help them whenever you're communicating with them. You want to help them hear about fun things. They want high eyes, want to have a good time, and they like to be social. Let's go to the S's. So S's talk about being they're friendly. They connect. They really easily connect with people when they connect with them as a person. Speak to the impact on others whenever you're talking to them, and you want them whenever you're. I guess the one of the things that the speaker was talking about was how do you particularly sell to these people? And whenever you're looking to sell them maybe a coaching or something with a business, and it was cool. They said help them feel secure in saying yes. Give them reasons to not say no, essentially. So that might not be as interesting to you now that I'm thinking about it, but if it is, that's amazing. I think it's just whenever you're not selling them a thing of a business, but maybe you're selling them on an idea that you have. So think about those things. Like someone like me, like I said, I'm high C. I'm very detail driven. I love data. Like it's a problem sometimes. And yeah, I think I want to talk about a couple experiences though that I had today. Learn something about myself. And earlier this morning, I prayed for God to give me discernment on who I should listen to, what things I should do, what things I shouldn't do. Because I always feel like when I'm at these events I pay for, that I have to do everything and listen to what everyone says. And there was a moment today, just a little bit ago, where there was a session later in the evening that wasn't required, but none of them are technically required, but this one was later, and it started about 6:45, was going to go to 8:50, and you have to wake up early in the morning, and I was already exhausted, because I'm already exhausted because didn't sleep great last night. And I kept going back and forth whether I was going to go or not. And I ended up going and listening to what the speakers were saying. And I liked it. It was great. And then they're starting getting to interactivity and activities. And I wasn't really feeling it. I was, my stomach was kind of having some issues, and I was honestly tired and wanted to communicate with want to talk with some friends. So I decided to get up and go. I said, I told the people that were at my table, hey, I think I need to go. I'll see you later. And it felt really good to be able to get up and use my discernment to say, it's okay. I can go decompress. I'm a person that likes to take I'm a person who likes their alone time, likes to decompress. So going to 8:50 wouldn't really let me do that. It probably would affect my sleep. I can almost guarantee it would. So it was a great decision, if I'm being honest, for me. So that's one thing to learn, is like focus on what your gut is telling you to do. I know I'm jumping around. There's a lot of things coming out in this episode, and that's probably how it's going to be for a few episodes, but there was a lot happening today and wanted to try and get as much into this episode as I could. I don't want the episode to be an hour long. But yeah, guys, there's so much to learn. Like I'm going to be, I bought a couple of things of merch. Again, I'm bouncing around. And one thing that I bought was a coffee mug, because I love coffee. And it says on it, to stay on the high road, we need to focus not on what we deserve, but on how we can serve. That's by John Maxwell in his book, High Road Leadership. And I don't know, I didn't have a particular message around that mug. I just saw, I have it sitting next to me. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I bought this mug because I just want to have people. I just want to have this message, and I want to have this messaging near me all the time. I want to be able to use this coffee mug and read it and say, like, yeah, I need to focus not on what I deserve, but how I can serve. That's a great reminder for me as I'm learning about these lessons, about talking with people that really just want to serve. And guys, that's what this is all about. So guys, I just want to throw in here at the end, if you got through this whole episode, that means, honestly, if I rambled a little bit and you got to the end, that means you must really like me for some reason. So I'm going to offer you a free gift of 3 coaching sessions, absolutely free, because honestly, I just want to serve. I'm going to focus on how I can serve. I'm going to gift you 3 coaching sessions. And all I ask is at the end of those 3 sessions, you give a testimonial and you find somebody that I can coach, someone else I can coach. Find me another client. That is all I ask. That's payment enough. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the Pursuit of Calling podcast, go ahead and give it a 5-star review. I'd really appreciate it. You can do that on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast and where they allow reviews. And go ahead and leave a comment on Spotify, and leave a review, like a word review on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to share that out on Instagram, Facebook, X, any social media platform that you use, go ahead and share it out on there. Share this with your friends and let them know about the coaching that I provide. And if you've gone through the coaching, let them know how great, if you've gotten something good out of it. You can, if it sucked, I mean, I guess you can tell them that too. But I prefer that from the people I have coached, they've all loved it. So go ahead and let your friends know. All right, guys, thank you for listening to the episode. Keep pursuing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.